up here. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy, joy. Sylvia, 1.5 by 2 inch. No, Sylvia. Either 1.5 inch squares or 2 inch squares. Anywhere in that range. Sorry.
1.5 by 2 ain't square.
Well, she can cut that down to 1.5 by 1.5, which is perfect. You want scrap squares that are either 1.5 to 2 inch size squares. Does that make more sense? So if you've got 1.5 inch squares, that's okay. You can just cut them to 1.5 by 1.5, which is what I'm using. So that's a perfect size. But if you're using a punch and you have a 1.5 inch punch, this is a 1 3/4. If you have a 2 inch punch, whatever it is, what I wanted to relay was that any of those size punches would work. Jello Margie, good to see you. Hello, Penny. How are ya? Margie's good. Penny's good. Says 5 are waiting. Speak up, y'all. That's right. Say hello. Have some conversation before going. There's Christy. Hello, Christy. There's right. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Scrolling down. Okay, so Sylvia has hers cut. It's not tedious. It's very easy. You do not have a headache. Just start taking your, if they're 1.5 by 2 inch squares, just cut a little off one side and make them 1.5 by 1.5. That's all. They just need to be square. They could be 2 inches. They could be 1.5 inches. They could be 1 inch. They could be 1 3/4. Anywhere between 1 and 2 inches. Just make sure that they're square. They need to be exactly square. That's all. It's not fun here. Penny, what? Christy, going to make along with Fearless Leader and Rockstar Candy. I thought you'd be calling her Starflower. I told her that's her new hippie name, Starflower. Yeah, Christy, you should make along with us. Have a huge mess over here that you could be cleaning. Christy, we all do.
Yeah.
A little tiny piece of time out that we're going to create using some of that mess, the scraps, and then you can go back to cleaning up. We got to take a little bit of time to do this for our mental health. Then we'll go back to cleaning up, right? Love Rockstar Candy. That's awesome.
Yeah. I will say cleaning up after the flower making session was much quicker than cleaning up after a paper making session.
Wow. Kind of surprises me, but I'm not sure. Why do you think that is?
Wasn't as much stuff.
Oh.
It's all, it's only a couple things. It's not,
yeah.
Great paper. You got to, put that back in the package. But
That's true. Sylvia, do not quit. Quit is not in our vocabulary. No. It's always about size. Hi, Charlotte. Good to see you. Sylvia, it doesn't matter what the size, just make it square. That's all. You can see that Candy's cutting 1 inch squares on her paper trimmer. I have cut some 1 3/4 inch squares with my punch here. And I have some strips that are 1.5 that rather than use my punch, I'm just going to put them on my trimmer and chop at 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and turn those strips into squares. Good to see you, Charlotte. Hello, Dawn Marie. Good to see you. You guys are watching a really loud movie. Well, we can't hear it, so hopefully you can hear us. You just tell us if we need to, yell louder.
I'm good at yelling. Just ask my kids.
I have 9 2-inchers. That's it. You'll need a little bit more. Oh, you have a punch. That makes it so much easier. Get a punch. That makes it a whole lot easier. Yeah. Okay. So a few weeks ago, when we made these super cute little labels, we took out the big pieces and we made these cute little labels. And then we took what was left and saw if we could make squares that were 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, any kind of size like that. And Is Glennis here? I haven't seen Glennis because she has a whole bunch of squares and asked what are we going to do with them. Tonight, we're going to use them. And what I'm going to do here is just maybe kind of separate these into, ones that are not that are matching, but that are kind of sort of color coordinated. Like I don't necessarily want sparkly blue with this, vintage brown. So that's up to you. Those are all the same. But we are going to make a journal cover. Super easy. I'm killing time for Sylvia to be punching out of her scraps some more squares. Doesn't matter what size. Candy's using 1 inch. I've got 1 3/4 inch, and I've got 1.5 inch.
Yeah, I'm just cutting out coordinating ones.
So it doesn't matter what size, as long as they're square. That's all that matters. So these will obviously be different projects because they've got to be in the same size. Ooh, that'd be pretty. A pink and black one. I could find some other coordinating items with it. So Sylvia, have I killed enough time? Okay, so what we're going to do is collage these onto a cardstock for a journal cover. And there's several different ways that you can do it. And then we can also take some and collage them for tags and journal cards to use in that same journal, which kind of pulls it all together with your cover. So there's so many different options. I'm just going to kind of sort of tell you everything, and you can pick and choose how you want to do yours. So you can get a piece of cardstock, and it can be single-sided or double-sided, doesn't matter. But if one side is a side that you would like to be the bookend, like the inside of the cover, the paper that's inside the cover, then use that. And so you turn it over and we'll collage on the other side, making the other side the outside of the book. And the side you like would be the inside bookend paper. Okay, so there's a stack of 1 3/4. Okay, I am going to need something of weight. See if that'll work at all. That's heavy enough. That'll maybe work there. And then these are 1.5, and I really want to do a black and white one with these strips. So I guess if I got my large cutter, it would be real easy to, I'll show you how it would be easier to do that. I'm going to see if I can not knock all those on the floor. Okay, so if this strip is 12 inches long, if I put it on 6, these are 1.5. Okay, yeah, so 6, and then 3, and then 1.5. And so each of these 3s will go in half. That's a lot faster than doing 1.5 and moving it down. Hopefully I'm doing them straight. Because when you're lining them up, when you're collaging them, then they kind of need to be straight. So after you collage them on, you can go over the top with a matte medium or a Mod Podge, or I just found out, we always have this discussion about Mod Podge, and Candy uses it, and I love the stuff.
Oh, that paper was already chopped up, Penny. That was just a piece of it.
Oh, yeah. This is just your leftover.
It was just a piece of it. It was already, part of it was missing. I'd use the strip off it for something else.
I just found this Mod Podge for paper. It's a water-based sealer for paper, and I'm going to try that. I've never tried that before, so I don't know. And it, it's always been a little tacky for me, and it isn't for Candy. And I love the stuff she makes with it. It's not tacky, so I don't know if it has something to do with the air, the temperature where you are, or the.
It's humid here, and I still don't know.
I don't know. So, but I am going to try the paper. I don't know. I may try doing that over the top of this once it's done. I will try the paper Mod Podge and see.
Sylvia, that book I gave you, that journal I gave you, was Mod Podge on the front of it.
Yeah, that's the one I remember most recently. I mean, I want to see if that is any different than the other Mod Podge as far as that tackiness for me. Yeah, that one that she made for you, Sylvia, that was most awesome. And I didn't feel any tacky at all on that one. It was really cool. So I'm cutting these in 1.5. So I'm going to have in a variety of sizes. And give you time to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to use just an 8.5 by 11, I think. Folded in, or not even folded in half. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, she says it's not sticky. Yeah, it's not.
See?
And I have trouble when I use that patty pocket.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I've never had sticky patty pockets, but yeah. So it could be the weather. Very well could be the temperature.
I know Mod Podge. A lot of it is it's how thick you put it on.
Okay. Do you put it on really thin and just do multiple layers, or do you put it on thick?
Yeah, no, I don't put it on thick, and sometimes I only do one layer. Sometimes I only
thin in one layer.
I'm not making it for waterproofing,
right? You're not hoping she's not taking it swimming with her.
Just trying to stick the paper a little bit because the paper was thin.
Not sticky at all. That's funny. Okay, these are some strips from one of the Minte Day by Day, the black and white. I made what did I make? I made a envelope. Can't even think about it. An envelope journal or folio. Well, that was just a little bit too thick. Hope I didn't totally screw those up. A little bit too thick to cut through all of them. Probably did, but we'll make them work. So I had some leftovers from that. So if they're all, your scraps or offcuts from one paper pack after a project, then they're going to coordinate. And if you made a journal or something, and then you could make you could do this and use offcuts or scraps from it and make a single signature journal that goes inside the journal. Just a little bonus. Let's see here. Oh, I think I've just cut all the same sheets, so I should rifle around in there and get some that are different. So I have a variety to choose from here. So I can do the black and white one, and then the other one is more like vintage browns and blues and things like that. Let's go down here and see what we've got. Oh, there's a pretty one. Okay. So who it all is going to make along with us tonight? We're going to use up scraps. We're going to make something pretty with it. Maybe a bunch of things pretty.
I didn't see what we were doing. We're just cutting up squares or...
Yeah. Christy, I haven't... I did not make one ahead of time to show. So we're cutting squares. I'm cutting squares right now that are 1.5 inches out of this black and white. I have some cut from a couple weeks ago when we did that, the labels, and these are 1.75 inches. So I can use those for one. I can use these for one. You can make them any size between 1 inch and 2 inch. Just make them all the same size, all square of the same size. And so I'm just trying to cut. These are all offcuts from that same paper pad when I made that. It was just one or two sheets that was left when I made that envelope folio or journal. So I'm going to cut a couple more down so it's variety of pattern. I know they're all coordinated, but it's nice when they're a variety of patterns. Some white based, some will be black or gray based, And then we'll need to grab a sheet of 8.5 by 11, Or you could do 12 by 12, I suppose, or you could take a 12 by 12 and cut it down to whatever you want. So that's making me think. If I, let's see. I don't know. I'm just going to grab an 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I like the idea of cardstock as my base, and I like the idea of my squares being cardstock so that I end up with a thicker cover. That may not be your preference. You may prefer cardstock on the base and paper squares, but I would like a thicker cover. Just seems like it'd be a little more durable for somebody like me who can be a little hard on their covers. And let's see here. That should be enough. Let me go grab a piece of cardstock. Oh, that didn't get cut. A piece of cardstock. And what did I put all these over here and they didn't get cut? I cut it in half and didn't pick up the second half. That's what I did. So the cardstock, I only have to like one side of it, honestly. Or it can be plain, solid cardstock. So this is black and white. If I want the inside of that book cover to be black or white, that would work as well. It does not have to be a print. Or it could be a glitter. Let's see here. How about I think I'm going to do, I might end up with enough to do 2. So I'll grab 2. One black on white, one white on black. Let's do my inside end papers. All right. So I'll get this out of the way. Move those over until I need them. And let's do this. You can see a little bit more our desk probably with that. Yeah, a little bit more of the mess. I think maybe it'll be easier to see on this one. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these pieces. That's going to be the inside. So I want a collage here. So we're going to take these pieces and we're going to collage them. That's why they need to be the exact same size because they're going to be lined up like this. And cut to be collaged, like that. So let me point out a couple of things to think about as you're going along because you'll need to make a couple of decisions. So when you come to the spine, you can just do the whole thing and then you can decide on where you want the spine based on if you're putting 1 signature or 2 signatures. And if you want to, you can score it down the center to make it fold easier so these don't lift up. But if you've done Mod Podge on them, they're going to be flexible and lift up anyway, or even a matte medium on them. Okay, so that's one thing to think about. Or if you wanted to end up making a square, rectangle spine like that, you can do these right up to the spine, leave the spine blank if you're going to do something else over it. Or you could fold it in half, go right down the center and let this be your spine. So you know exactly where your spine is. Okay, however you choose to put these. Okay, so that's the spine. And then that way it would fold on both sides of that exactly. And then you would go out from here, all the way out. So if you get out to the end here and you have, see just a little bit of space there, I'm going to put 1 on it. And then the other one can either fold around and glue it down. If you could cut them all off at the exact same length outside of this paper and then fold them all over so they wrap around, or you just cut it off right at this paper. Either way. Okay, so you can start knowing this is the front cover. Now when I open the book, this is going to be my inside in paper and the inside of the back cover. You can start with the spine if you want to have a spine that is that wide, or you can start, right here. Now, you can line them up like I just had them. I'm already knocking them on the floor with my shirt sleeve. You can line them up like this. As you do this.
Well, her hubby's playing, Dawn Marie's hubby's playing the guitar while she's crafting.
Sweet. I went and found his channel on YouTube and listened.
I meant to do that, and then I got
good.
And
you're right, DM. He's very good. He is very good. Okay, so you could do like that all the way down, or you could offset them, meaning you do one row, and then the next row that you do, you go into the center, and these two meet in the center of that one, and these two meet in the center of that one, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? So that you don't have straight lines. You have, let me see if this gives you a little bit closer, and can probably, let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Let's try the zoomy zoom. How that works. Whoop. That work? There we go. Okay. So this is offset. So you've got lines from that one there, and then these are offset in the center. And then the next row would be like this, which matches this row. Every other row is going to match. Makes sense? Okay. Once you do, I would say do one of those. It's probably the easiest. Once you do that, if you decide you want to get all fancy, you can do them on the diagonal. And then I would start on an edge. If you're doing on the diagonal, I would start on the edge, because you need to line up a point and a point to the edge. And if you start in the middle, you are probably not guaranteed that it's straight. And if it's not straight, you're going to end up skiwampus everywhere. There's no way to correct it. So if you go point to point on the diagonal, and when you're done, after they're glued and dried, you're just going to cut right down the edge of the paper. Okay. And so you would glue these all the way down, point to point on the diagonal. Okay. And then your next row would be in here and up here. And so that one, see, they really need to be glued down, because that one's going to end up point to point that direction. And then this one would go next to it there. Okay. And you would build out from there. So I would not recommend doing all the way around the perimeter and then moving in, because they might not fit exactly. I would pick one edge that you're going to go to start on and go point to point all the way down, and then build off of that one. And I would start on the right side, because that's going to be your front cover, and you want that one to be lined up and look good. And then you can go, let's see if I can get this just a little bit.
Oh my word.
I have the thing screwed really tight so I don't bump it all over the place. And so when I tried to move it, that was a good squeak. That was a good Halloween squeak. Yeah. So start on one side right there, and then build right to left. Then when you fold it, your front cover will look really nice. So that's kind of a cool option. I'm going to take the zoom down here and go back. And there we go. Okay. So let's bring Candy back in. She's already busy working on hers, got some rows already in. So, you know what? These are laying here. They look kind of cool. I think I might do a point to point one. Candy's doing, are yours offset, looks like?
Well, there's a 2-inch square in the center.
Oh, cool. Okay. So what she did was take a larger square as a focal point, and put that larger square in the center. It's 2 inches. And then she's building her rows around that. So over the, across the top of that, down the side. So it's a 2-inch square because she has 1-inch squares. That way 2 of these will go right here. That you got it. You know the math. 1 + 1 = 2-inch square. So yeah, that's kind of a cool idea. So I think maybe I will do a diagonal because I've got these. Now that I laid them out, the black and white looks really cool on the diagonal. So I'll try it. So let's see here.
Pretty. The diagonal is easy to do with weaving strips. Yeah. No. Weaving strips is not
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could glue a square in between 2 and offset the pattern as well. Let's confuse everybody all the way around. Oh, Dawn Marie, did you go ahead and do a tutorial on the weaving?
Yeah, I've done the weaving. It's just
we've done some weaving, but it's been a while. I mean, it's been a while.
I just don't care for the look, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to have the right paper. I think you have to have the right paper for that.
That's true. If weaving paper strips is something you guys want to do, we'll do it. If not, we won't. We're game for lots of stuff. I won't say anything.
I think you got to get the paper all the same weight.
I'll email it. All right, hang on a second here.
Must be a little short way or something.
Hey, Doug. I wonder if it's too large to transmit.
Huh?
I wonder if it's too large to transmit. Okay, let's see here. I'll send him this document. And okay, just sent it. No subject. All right.
Bend anyway, stupid thing. I'm probably smarter than me.
Yeah, let's see here. Margie, get out of my head. Dawn Marie, I'm sure glad that you're back in your craft room and here with us. Thank you. Diagonal is easier to do with weaving strips. Okay, you can do it, Marianne. Just use your T-square every once in a while. Yeah, you know what? That's and I got those cool T-squares for us, and they were really cheap. And mine's out in the other room. Great. I know. A lot of good that does me. See, that's the bad thing about taking stuff out to use elsewhere. It doesn't make it back in time for a while.
One level.
What?
That's why you need to put all your stuff on one level.
It is on one level. It's just out in the other room on this level.
No, it's not. You have stuff down the basement too.
Oh, but not for that stuff for the sale, the shop, the boxes. not for my stuff for studio. That's all up here. If I take stuff out to work at the dining room, hang out with Doug, or watch a movie with him or something. Yeah, and then sometimes I accidentally leave something out there. Like, maybe too lazy to bring it all in late at night. Who knows?
It's lazy? No way.
No, we never feel that. Those are cool little stairs there. That's not going to show like stairs, though. That's the front cover. I kind of want to choose what I want.
Dawn's internet's in and out because of wind.
Oh, shoot. Are you in the middle of storms?
It's been raining here all day.
It was supposed to snow all day, and in about 5 minutes, it did 6 different kinds of snowing. Just, not much of anything, but a teeny little bit. And that lasted about 5 minutes. So we didn't get much. Let's see
Margie
here.
says you have a wolf trying to huff and puff blow your house down.
Yeah, really. Yeah, maybe. Okay. This art glitter glue is kind of hard to push. It's a little stopped up. I'm going to grab the other one. I know one's worse than the other. Let's see. Let's see if this one works any better. Doom. Be-doo-be-doom. All right. So what's everybody doing this weekend?
Charlie will be here tomorrow, so.
Oh, that's right. So you hurried to get your flowers done.
Yeah, so I'm going to get those. That's my rush to get them all done.
They are awesome. You guys see that the one she posted in the group? They're beautiful, man. Master flower maker now. Oh my goodness.
No, there were so many mistakes. It's not even funny. But
really?
But good thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. But some words aren't perfect. Anyway,
no, they look beautiful.
Yeah, they're. And like I was telling Marianne, the hardest ones for me were not that they were hard. The caused the most pain in my hands.
Yeah.
Was the lavender, because you had to roll it and keep them so they didn't line up,
yeah.
And so you had to be kind of slow, and I'm kind of slow at it, so it would just take forever. Be like, oh, I'm done with these. I can only make 4. I'm done.
They all look perfect to us.
My hands were like, no more lavender, Candy, no more.
That's it.
I want to make more. I'll go back and make more, but
sure. But 4 at a time.
Yeah, it was a lot of rolling.
How those little sweet peas? How did you like making those? How'd you feel that they turned out?
Oh, they came out nice, but there's so many little things. Probably the hardest one to make was that stupid berry bush.
Oh,
those little balls, and it had a little sepal on the bottom. Oh my god! Oh my god! That little piece of paper was hard to get up and get in there right.
Yeah. Anything with little tiny berries and things around the berries and
the really tiny berries were the hardest.
Oh man, can only imagine.
And of course, it was midnight or 2 a.m. or.
Credit to you for patience to do those flowers.
I had fun making them, but those were the 2 tedious ones for me.
Yeah, they sure were beautiful, though. They sure are beautiful.
Yeah, the lilacs were my favorite, Margie. Lavender, not lilacs, lavender. Lavender was my favorite. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
The ones that we made with lavender.
The lavender.
We didn't make lilacs.
The lavender, but they were just so difficult on your hands.
On my hands. It just made my fingers hurt in my hands.
Yeah. But the most painful. Well, beauty is pain.
Yeah,
right?
the sweet peas, I did a couple of the flowers by hand where I cut them out by hand, but then I went to the Cricut.
That's funny.
But I did try it.
Yeah.
If my Cricut messed up, I could make them by hand, but it just
sure.
Cut them with the Cricut.
But if you can cut them, why not? Because it saves your hands, so you can do more of the little rolling stuff.
I had fun, and then
cool.
I enrolled in another class that starts next month for paper flowers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. So, like, just using regular
frosted. She uses pearl paper, but it's text weight, not cardstock weight.
Okay.
So I had the class pack. It just arrived today, actually. Rodney brought it in before we started.
Cool. Okay, so pearlized paper, but it's like copy paper weight.
Yes.
That's cool. Those will be pretty.
Here we go. Let me see. I haven't even had a chance to look at it. True.
Well, look at that. Those two are not the same size. Imagine that.
By hand, they're off a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Even if I'm cutting with my paper trimmer and doing it in a hurry. Yeah. So I just know where.
Yeah, here's the.
I'll need to put something on the cover to cover it up.
That's pretty. Yeah, and it's more pliable than cardboard, the cardstock paper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. That looks like that cardstock, but much more pliable. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's only 130 GSM.
Wow. That's pretty. Like that a lot. Okay, let's see here.
And you used to spend money, ladies. And Ronnie goes, I said, well, it's only free while I'm a member, and I can only be a member for a year, so I got to take advantage of these classes.
Right. Yep. And I'm only spending money so that I can save money and not have to buy the flowers. I can make them.
Yeah. It's probably more expensive to make them than to go buy them.
Yeah, but they're prettier, and you got satisfaction out of it, and you can make new ones of new colors anytime you want.
Yeah. What would the temperature in April be in Utah?
Well, that's a good question. Let me look it up. I'm going to say probably 70s, 80s.
Just depends. You never know. We're in this crazy weather.
Really? Well, there's a reason that I choose the last weekend of April and the last weekend of September. For example, last year we had a heat wave that went way late. And the week before retreat, it was literally over 100 degrees. And then it just boom went down. And so the week of retreat, it was like 80s and it was perfect. And so I picked that to, if we have a heat wave, we have a little time to get past that, but yet we're not into where it would be cold yet. And I try to do the same thing for April. Let's see. And depends on where you are too, of course. Southern Utah is always going to be warmer. That's going to be a lot like Arizona. But that's not where we are. Unless you're taking it. So give me a second to look that up. Okay. So let's see. In April, average. Yeah, it rarely falls below 45 and it rarely exceeds 80 in April. So we're the end of April, likely between 50 and 70 is where we should be. So kind of perfect weather, don't you think? I like that. 50 to 70. That one got Kutski Wampus. I like that. I like that with texture. No guarantee, though. That is true. Penny's like, yes, please. So is anybody making these with us today? Sylvia, did you get some squares cut of the same size or punched? And are you making? I hope you are. Let's see. Oh, Penny, hey, I asked a question. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was in small letters and way back there, and it didn't have question marks, and we didn't see it. So, way to catch it, Margie. I like both sides of this. Sometimes it's hard to know which side. want to use. I do like these little windows. They're kind of cool. Some little windows in there. Put that one there. And let's see. Some of those. How about one of these? Yeah. Boy, we're awfully quiet tonight. What's up with us?
Legs here. She just got back from supper. Did you cut your legs differently, Marianne? Did you?
No. This is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and these are 1.5 inch squares. And rather than lay them straight, I'm just doing them on the diagonal. So if you do them on the diagonal, start on the right hand edge and put 4, or it depends on how big your squares are. I have some 1 3/4 inch. Candy's using 1 inch. So pretty much anything from 1 to 2 inches is a good size for these. So line up the first ones on the diagonal so that you can go corner to corner on that edge, and then you just work off of that side going left. So Candy's doing them square, but she also did a slight variation where she put a 2-inch square in the center as a focal point, and that's a good, even if you just put it down there as like a base. If you wanted to put a photo or an image of some sort on the cover, then you could put it in that 2-inch square. And then she's using 1-inch squares around it to complete her cover. So these are 1.5 inch. Because I had 1.5 inch strips. So these, I cut them to 1.5 inch squares. My punch is 1 3/4 inch. So the other stack that I have is 1 3/4 inch. I just won't mix those. So, okay, what's everybody else been doing this weekend? I've been working. I have a plan. I'm on a mission. That's why you haven't seen much of me. I'm going to get it done quickly. So I'm reorganizing the house, just in case you haven't heard. That's my plan. That's my mission, to get the house reorganized. The entire house, top to bottom. Making it a little easier for the shop stuff and the happy paper box things and my studio things. Let's see. Maybe I should put one of these over here. Well, because of my color choices and the ragtag issue I have, mine looks like a band of drunk mariachis put it together. I love it. Dawn Marie is taping strips at diagonals to show the difference. So we do that a lot with the leftover paper and washi tape. Yep, tape them on the diagonal and then end up using, we do that on index cards a lot. But yeah, you can do it with these as well. You can tape them diagonally on strips, or take strips of paper and put them on your 8.5 by 11 diagonally to make a cover. Okay, let's see here. Make sure I'm all lined up.
Sylvia loves paper weaving.
Do you?
Your mom staying yet? Her mom will be there tomorrow, Dawn.
Yes. Yep, she will be here tomorrow, which is part of the reason today I was up to my eyeballs downstairs, because I already tore the house apart. I didn't know she didn't know she was going to be coming this soon. And I thought I would have another 4 or 5 weeks before she came to visit. And so I tore the entire downstairs apart. And yeah, I said, well, great. If I can't get it done, you won't mind sleeping on the couch, will you? She says, which couch? Does it matter? Do you care to sleep on the couch? I didn't think you'd want to sleep on the couch. It was kind of funny. You know I'll have the bed ready. You know I'll have your room ready, Mom. I'm just teasing you. But no, seriously, because that's the guest room downstairs is actually a master bedroom. The people that we bought this house from had taken 2 bedrooms. They did a huge remodel. They took 2 bedrooms upstairs and turned them into one that they used as an office, which is my studio. So that's large. And then they took 2 bedrooms downstairs and turned them into one. And a master downstairs. They moved downstairs because one of their elderly mothers lived with them and they had her upstairs in the master. So there is actually, oh, look at that cute little cup of coffee that just ended up right there. That would be cute right there on. I should do it. Well, let's see. How could I? There's no way it's going to be straight up. That way? Maybe right there. Yeah, so there's actually 2 masters, one upstairs and one downstairs. And so the downstairs master is the guest bedroom. But there's also a lot of other things in there because it's huge. So half of it that would have been another room. So I tore everything apart downstairs in all the rooms, using that room to pull things in, pile on the bed, put in front of the bed, put everywhere so I could start with the smaller room down there, organize my way out. And then Hershey's coming. Great.
Great timing, Mom.
Well, it's not her fault. It's my sister's fault that she lives with because she's going out of town. And so she just hadn't told Mom. Wow, those are not the same size either. So I'm going to need to put something on the cover kind of over that to make sure that how did I cut those so wonky? Wow. Well, how? Come on, Marianne. Seriously? Really? You're asking? No. So in her that master down there, because somebody's not there all the time, it's just the guest room. That's where the ping pong table, we have a huge professional ping pong table. That's where the ping pong table is supposed to be set up, and then using underneath the ping pong table for some storage. And so that is actually done now. The half of her room is done. The ping pong table is set up and storage underneath it, and then everything else I packed up around it just to make her be able to get to her bed and that half of the room. And then I'll have to get in and do the rest of that when she leaves. But yeah, I got through 20. Whoops, I realized I did that whole thing. What did I say? 21 shelves of books I went through. Those are our personal books. 10 boxes of books that were estate sale books that are for us, for Happy Paper People. Yeah, I got through a lot of stuff. Packed up like 8 boxes for Goodwill. Made a lot of room down there. Freed up a bunch of shelves. Some room for more stuff. Not yet. Got plenty of stuff that needs to go on them and be organized. But I did get, I've had all those boxes of books, 10 boxes of books from estate sales that I had not even had a chance to go through, that have just been stacked down there since last year. So I did get to go through all those. I took them all out and put them on shelves so I could see them and pull them as we want them for sales. And oh, there is some cool books in there. And, I want to keep them all, but I can't. I mean, even in my lifetime, there's no way I would ever be able to use all of them. So what good does it do me anyway if I keep them? And there's just too many to even pet, I need to share it. There's just too many. If it was only for me, when I go to the estate sale, I'd have just picked a few, and that would be that. But that's why I bought the whole darn lot for everybody else too. So excited about that. So we do need to have a book sale. There's some that are cool by topic that I thought some of you would be interested in topics. Like Sylvia, there's one on the islands, and it has it's full of photographs and images that are very cool. So I saw that one. I thought of you. There's some on specific topics, so topic wise that I think specific people might be interested in. And then there's others that are just cool old paper, and others that are great covers and paper, and others that are just full of cool old images. Oh man, there's so many images. I would look, I should take this apart. Yeah, I'd have so many images that I already have so many images in my studio that I will never be able to use them all, ever. Ever. So why I'm learning to not even think about doing that. Just share it with somebody else who doesn't have them. There's no way I'll ever get to them all. Glynis isn't here, but there was several really cool bird books that have lots of cool images of birds. I know that's a favorite of hers. Some neat things. So excited about those. Did a little organizing of fabric. There was some fabric in there. And then there's a closet full of fabric, and then a couple other bins. So we do need to have fabric sale. I have a lot of fabric that I will actually do on clearance closeout. So we could do a clearance fabric sale. Stuff I've just been hanging on to make great book covers and, pretty stuff.
Yeah, you have pretty stuff. You have a lot of pretty stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I got to share it. There's no way I can use it all. I love it, but Sylvia, fighting with people that practice medicine. Yeah, don't you wish they would learn what they're doing and just quit practicing? They practice on us a lot, huh? Let's see. I mean, I thought because they had that degree behind their name, that meant they had already learned what they're doing, not just practicing.
Veterinarian has to go longer than a doctor.
Really? Wow.
Because they have to.
Yeah. And then we learn as we get older that they are only human beings. So, remember when you thought doctors were like all-knowing and brilliant, wise about everything medical, and then you realize, that's just somebody's husband. They are actually human beings, and they might not know any more than I do. Yeah. I got enough here to make a couple of these, I think. You never know how many squares it'll take. I guess it depends on the size of your square, honestly. So if Here we go. That's what we need. If you're using smaller squares, you're going to use more. 1 inch. I kind of like the idea of 1 inch because you get more in, so you get more design. These 1.5s I'm liking. That seems to be a real good size.
Yeah, 2 is almost too big.
Yeah, 2 I think would be too big because you wouldn't get enough on there that you really get to see your pattern. I've got these 1 3/4, and they will probably be okay, but I'm not sure I'd go any larger than that, honestly. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, that's what I've been doing yesterday and today. Anybody else do anything fun? Fun around the house. Making flowers is fun.
Yeah.
Anybody organizing the house like me? Not fun. Fun, not fun. You know, I don't mind doing it. I enjoy doing it because I'm anxious for the result. So, you know, there's something about organizing that I just can't ever complain about because it feels good to have that end result. And so, you know, while I'm working, I'm excited about what it's going to be, and that keeps me going. There we go. I'm looking for some of those. They're underneath. Is it snowing in Wisconsin, Margie? How did that end up with that big old gap there? Let's see if one of these is larger. Any of these larger? Did that one end up? And one of them ended up smaller somehow or other.
It's somewhere along the line, it seems the education changed. Yeah. Sylvia says, I pushed my furniture around at no more fireplace action.
Nice. I like that.
Margie said she had some snow yesterday, but not much.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try. We still got snow on the ground. Okay. Thought we were going to get a bunch more, and we didn't. I'm going to try filling in this little tiny strip because that's kind of a big gap. And then now I'll also show you another design element that you can use with these. And actually, maybe I'll do it on this one. I'm almost done with the back of this cover, so I'll finish that, and then I'll go back to the front and show you that. Okay. It's coming along, singing a song side by side. I willed all of the snow we usually get to other places. You're sending it to Louisiana?
That shit with you, Mary.
I'm not willing it to you. It's Margie. That's funny. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
No, it's not.
You could go back and you could line on the lines with a colored marker. In my case, it'd probably be black, or a black Posca pen, which is acrylic paint marker. Or even if you wanted it to be a little bit artsy grungy, you could use a a black Stabilo. Let's see. What's going on there? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alrighty. Lay out a few of these. And yeah, one of them got a little off in size. Not sure which one or how that happened. But I just cut, I don't even know where it is now, a teeny tiny strip off of one of the same sides of the paper and stuck it down. It works just fine. Fill in a little gap. Okay, so let's see which ones aren't attached. Those are, all right. Christy, are you making it? I know you were cleaning and organizing. Thinking that you cut your squares. Today is laundry and craft and play. Tomorrow is draw a big tree day. Penny, ask a question. Let me go back just a little bit here. I used to take a doctor at their word and believe what they said. Mm-hmm. Some doctors are no more human than a chimp. Penny, do you have any floral books? Yes, Miss Penny, I do. I have floral books, garden books, specimen books of all different kinds.
She has all kinds of books. She has more books than you ever do with.
Yeah, exactly. The estate books, estate sales with books are fun. I just always find tons and tons. So it's just time for, okay. And then I've got one full shelf of books that they're those kind that they make in sets. I guess I probably ought to check the value before I just, sell them. But the kind that they do sets, and the covers there'll be a color like red or brown or green. And then they're gold embossed in fancy designs. And there's, however many to the set. Each one's a different book, but they're all, whatever they are. I've got a whole shelf full of those. I just love those. They make the prettiest covers for journals. That's why I got them. But yeah, those are cool. And then I've got a shelf that is too deep. So it's like two shelves, but the shelves are deep enough that I got too deep in one shelf of really pretty Reader's Digest. These are all the ones that are really pretty colors or really pretty designs on the covers of the Reader's Digest. Yeah, see, that one's way small.
Is going to try to wrap a rock or two with copper wire.
Oh, cool.
She just collected lots of rocks. They're so pretty. Going to try wrapping them with wire.
Yeah, they are. Cool. Hey, we should do that on a Monday Jumpstart, Sylvia. That'd be cool.
She has 2 crates full of rocks. Does that count the rocks in your head, Sylvia? No. Sorry,
not sorry, she says.
Inside voice.
Yeah. Really? Did I say that out loud? Yes, Candy, you said that out loud.
Sorry, I was just joking.
Who knows it?
That's a lot of rocks.
In her head. That's a lot of rocks if it does count the ones in her head. Oh my goodness. Sylvia, we're sure sorry you can't come to retreat this year. Oh, I don't want that right next to the other one. Just the same. Okay, why?
I need more coffee.
Kind of sounds like you've had enough. You're right on top of things. Not like you're behind the 8 ball.
I was up till 2:30 last night.
Making flowers.
Yeah. Finishing up. I was almost done. I just gotta finish 2 more flowers.
I just gotta get this done. 2 more, and then 2 more, and then 2 more.
No, yesterday was finishing up some of the leaf, those leafy things. Those take forever.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because it's 2 halves. You got to glue them together.
Oh, yeah.
Leaf on the stem.
Mm.
So it's not hard. It's just time consuming.
You're right. And you wanted to get them done before Charlie comes tomorrow. I know. All righty. Now, where's that one that ended up half size or not all the size?
Penny said, Margie, there's a difference between rocks and boulders.
I don't think my head would fit boulders, but
Margie says she needs all the rocks in there.
But I'm sure that there's some rocks rolling around in there. Yeah, but I like my rocks. Don't take my rocks. I like them. Then there will be nothing there. All right, let's see here. What?
Sylvia says, like Margie, sing it with me. I don't care. I don't care. I have collected rocks and carted them across the U.S. since my 20s.
Oh, my goodness. Sylvia, please don't tell my mom that. She gathers rocks. Of course, I get it. Sometimes when they're cool rocks, I get them.
Unless we miss them.
But she gathers rocks everywhere we go and brings them home. But the thing is, she never does anything with them. They just sit there, take up space.
Listen, I thought about I need some big rocks. I need those big ones, the white ones. But you know how expensive those are?
They are very.
But
so just find rocks the right size and then paint them.
Between here and Texarkana, there's a highway that has they've decorated just patches, with them. I'm like, stop and steal some of these.
Just find rocks that are the right size and then paint them.
No, these are bigger.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh man, because I need some bigger ones.
Yeah. The rocks are cool, though. I do agree with that. All right, so that's a cool one right there. So, whoops, I'm going to show you exactly why I said start on the right side of your paper if you're doing it diagonally. Even if you're doing it, straight or offset, start on the right side of your paper, unless you're starting in the center, to make a spine and working out. And second, I'll show you why. Okay. This is why. I started over here, so I know when I cut this straight, I'm going to have a clean line right down the diagonal here, and my front is all going to be, nice with full and half diagonals on it. On the left, where I ended, look at this teeny tiny corner. So I have to put a tiny piece on there, a tiny piece here, a tiny piece here, and a tiny piece here, which is no problem, but I would rather they be on the back cover and not on the front cover where I've got these little itty bitty pieces looking like, afterthoughts of the front cover. So what I will do is turn this over, and I'm going to start where I started. So that'll be the most dry. And I'm going to cut what?
Margie said, quit stealing all the rocks, Sylvia. You take them far away from home and then they get scared and just freeze. These have been tumbled. They're shiny and they are good rocks.
Oh.
Penny says they got shaked, rattled, and rolled.
I was going to say, so she brought them at home and then put them in
a torture machine. Oh my God, Sylvia, you are so cruel.
Poor rocks. That looks like a placemat, doesn't it? How they make the little quilted things out sticking out, the little triangles. Okay. We could do paper placemats like we did in kindergarten.
I don't remember doing those in kindergarten.
We did lots of paper crafts in kindergarten and first grade.
I don't remember kindergarten.
No?
No, I don't.
Were you too busy cutting class and running around with the boys?
No, that didn't happen until the 9th grade.
Okay, so the reason I'm cutting these off before I fill in those last 4 little triangles that need to be fit in is because I'm just going to take some of these little triangle offcuts to fill them in. Why use a whole new square when it's only a tiny piece? I can use one of these that I cut off. Okay, so put those there, come back over here and decide. Now I'm going to try to kind of sort of make it similar to the one next to it, where otherwise I really liked some contrast, but I don't want it to contrast and have a teeny tiny piece sticking out as a contrast and draw attention to the fact that it's just a teeny tiny little corner. So I'll just make this very much like the one that is right next to it. Okay, so there's one. Not sure what I just knocked off, but I heard something go off on the floor when my arm moved. Sleeves. Oh, just a whole stack of them. Okay. That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
I will have to get them, though, because I need them. Let's see. I need a dark one for down here. So this one is perfect. That one is really little. And when I go over the top of it with a matte medium or a Mod Podge or something, that will help lock in all of these as well as those little tiny pieces I've added. So I'm not worried about them, ending up falling off, because I will do something over the top of it one way or the other. Let's see. What do I want right here? That'll work. Okay, and we'll give those a few minutes to dry before I cut this side off. You wouldn't think you'd get all that gluey from just doing squares, but my fingers.
I get gluey looking at the glue.
I know. I did. I look at glue and it jumps onto my fingers.
Yeah. Right.
What's the deal? Okay, so I'm just going to let those dry for a minute before I cut those off. Okay, so here's an idea for creating some dimension. Now, you might do a base and you know how you want to already decorate it. And so maybe you don't want dimension on it because you want to decorate it with something specifically. I'm going to get these pieces off the floor because it's a whole little stack that I knocked over. Or you may say, if I create dimension with this, then I won't, need to add anything else. I will just let this be the cover. So, all right. So I can look at this. I'm feeling these are just going to get in my way if I don't cut them off. So let me do that real quickly. And get in my way, I mean, I'm going to snag them on something and end up ripping them off. So let's see.
Let's see. Penny asked if Sylvia lives in Hawaii. No.
Yeah, but she's got family in Hawaii.
Let's see.
Okay. So these will be all the triangles. And then these are all the other pieces. And I've got more that I can...
Dawn Marie said her kindergarten teacher ended up being the bartender at her wedding.
That's awesome. Wow.
He asked if she did a good job, and Dawn Marie said, yep, hubby got appropriately drunk.
She was in charge of that, huh? And your job is... That's cool.
Sylvia says her scraps are shamefully not in the realm of fearless leader scraps. Yeah, I know. She's got some scraps, and I'm like, oh my God.
Well, these were just an extra sheet of strips, offcuts. But I did it's Minte. I did why can't I ever think of the word envelope? I did an envelope journal out of Minte. Yeah, on black. I think I did one on black envelopes and one on white envelopes with this day and night that's all black and white with the flowers. So, obviously it didn't take up an entire...
day and night?
I'm day by day.
Day by day. Okay. I'm like, what?
I'm making up a new Minte.
Yeah, I was like, I don't got that one.
You need one that's called day and night now, please. That's funny. Okay, so I'm cutting up a few more because, and if you had strips like this and they're all of the same design, you could, maybe if you were smarter than me, put them together as you're cutting them up, keep them kind of all together for this portion because this should do it. And if we need to, we'll grab another one. All right, so these are kind of the same on that side. Well, they're all on the other side too, but I don't know what's on the other side. And then there's some other strips here too. So if I decide that one of those is, those are all the same of the right kind of, see, there's some that are just more black and white. That was a door. It was too big to use on my journal. Okay, so I could take this and say, when this is turned into a journal cover, this is going to be my front cover. Okay, and that's my back cover as long as I keep it facing this way and like this. And one way to add dimension would be to elevate some of these squares. And so I can look at it and go, okay, well, that's kind of cool, but let's see. I thought that was a great idea, but I really don't like that little cup of coffee there because it just doesn't fit. It doesn't seem to fit in with the whole, black and white thing. So I'm going to cover that cup of coffee square. And what do I want on it? Maybe I want a pretty flower. Maybe I want some of the dark with pretty flower. I can actually find the exact square that I like. And then I can take a few that are, they're okay, but there's really nothing special about them. And my hand was full of the not so special about them. Okay. And first, let's straighten up the one that I screwed up by trying to cut too many at the same time, too thick. All right, this is the one I want on top. So I'm going to put
scrap. Oh my God, why would you make scraps from beautiful Minte? Because it's a scrap, and if I don't use it, I'm not going to sit there. It's not because it should be petted, Margie's saying.
And you know what? Because I'm making a beautiful cover out of it. If I've got lots of strips, I use the half a sheet of Minte, and I've got lots of strips and offcuts like that in my, I call them scrap bin, but they're not necessarily scraps. They might be 3, 4, 6 inches wide. They're definitely usable, but, and they're pretty. So I want to use something pretty that I like to make a cover of a journal. I mean, if I were to end up, really making it cool and selling the cover of the journal, somebody would want a very pretty one. And I like the Mintage Day by Day. The black and white's one of my favorites. So, yeah, I want a pretty journal cover. That's why. But there are some pieces like, not all that great. There's nothing exciting on that one. There's no focal point. There's no flower. There's no cool, texture going on there. It just is just a, piece of paper cut. But it is cardstock, and it does, not one of those bigger ones. That is one of the bigger ones. I'm leaving that one off because I don't want the bigger one. I want them to be exactly the same. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to find my black Posca pen, and I do think these came in. This is acrylic paint. Posca is acrylic paint in a pen form. I love them. I keep the black and white and gold one at my desk at all times. And then I have other colors that reside in a drawer next to me, but the black and white and gold are at my desk all the time. I'm going to move this just in case I end up doing something stupid and I end up dripping black paint. But okay. Okay, so how many did I put together here? No, you wouldn't do that. I put 4 or 5, and you can make this you could make it as thick as you want. Trim it up, make sure they're all together.
Eating dinner, Dawn.
Nice. Good to see you, Dawn. Been a while. Yeah. Okay, so I've got 4 or 5 here, and now I'm going to take my Posca pen, which is my acrylic paint pen. So, think about acrylic paint. This is just like brushing acrylic paint on, but it's not messy like acrylic paint. It comes out in pen form, in marker form. And I go nice and slow so I don't have a whole bunch of paint leaking out. I'm not tapping it, trying to force more paint out. I'm just doing little by little. And I keep the back side, the top side that I want to show, I'm keeping over here so I don't get paint all over it. And so I do it this way. So if it slips off, it comes down the back. If I get stuff on the back, I don't care. It's not going to show. So I'm just doing the edges. So the edges are nice and black. Okay, so both edges. So if I was doing, whatever my paper was, if gold would look really cool with it, I would totally do this with gold. This would look so cool with gold. I don't think gold is the best color for this black and white. But it might be for this one that has the vintage paper on it. That might look really cool. I don't think black would be cool for that one at all. So you have to kind of look at that. You could also use a Stabilo pencil for this, and then take your water brush over it a bit afterwards and let it do its thing, its Stabilo thing. You could even do it with colored pencils. You could do this with a Sharpie. I'm trying to do it along the side, not the point, but I'm just trying to get it along the side of my marker. Makes it easier to keep it flat because I'm afraid if I go by the point, it's going to slip off and I'm going to end up getting marking all over the front of it, and I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to do it on the side of the pen. And if it's drying up and you need a little more paint coming down, you just take it and tap it down once, and more paint comes out. Woo, readily more paint comes out. A lot more paint comes out. So yeah, that makes it a lot faster when a lot more paint comes out. And you can hold it after it's dry because it's just acrylic paint, so it'll dry. But I'm trying not to grab it everywhere while it's still wet. kind of hard not to do. But okay, so you see how my edges are all black now? So I don't have white paper edges jumping out at me. And then I'm going to take that. See?
Penny says, back when you offered to send out scraps, she should have spoke up because those are beautiful scraps. Yeah, but those aren't in her scrap bin.
I sent out some pretty scraps, but I didn't send out any of this because this is something I knew that I would use because I really, really like it. Okay, so now I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn it over. Should have put the top on this. It's probably already clogged up. Let's see if I can. And I'm going to put ink. I'm going to put glue on the back of it. Don't worry, I'll bring scraps to retreat. I'm not going to have that many, though. We're using them up, and I'm throwing away anything little. Okay, now I'm going to go over here, over that coffee cup that I wanted to cover, and I'm going to pop it right over the top of it. Press it down a bit. Just got to let it dry. Make sure it's lined up. Okay. And now if I wanted to do that, maybe I wanted to do it here on the windows. And I've got a whole bunch more that are windows. So I could still put a window on top if I like the windows or something with this style. But go a couple of different places and see it needs to dry. But then I have dimension, and you can take that as high as you want. So then when I look at the cover of the book, I've got a couple of different tiles, 2, 3. I'd probably do 3, maybe this one. Ooh, maybe I'll build up some flowers right there. That would be pretty. And something right here. I need to think about how I'm going to close it. Is that going to get in the way? Or could I close it right below that? So maybe I don't want it. Maybe if that's going to be my closure right in the middle, maybe I do this one. Or maybe that, no, I don't know, that one and that one. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just, however many you want, but you build these up, and now I've automatically got some interest and some dimension on the front of my cover.
Mark, you can't even find her scraps. And what happens if that is partly on the spine, she asked.
Oh, if mine is? I'm thinking that it won't be, but it could. Maybe I didn't.
It looks awful close. I'm with her on that one.
Yeah, it does. 1, 2, 3.
Dawn says you have to keep your top on. Pants too, okay. Obviously. But anyway.
There's the spine. There's the spine. So it is going to be darn close. I'm going to use this as a 1 signature journal. So that is really darn close. So if I put 2 signatures in it, then it would be on the spine. Yeah, you're right. And honestly, I didn't look at it close enough to count, but there's my break right there. Yeah, mark where my fingernail is. There's my break, which is right there. So I should be okay with that one, but I definitely don't want to do anything in these 2 rows. And to be safe, I probably could have gone here and here, and then one of these down here.
Oh, who wants to play it safe when it comes
I know. I like the flowers, so maybe I'll, build up and put another. I like that big flower. There's probably another one with. Ooh, look at that cool wrought iron. That might be cool on one. I do like these too. And if there's one that you look at it and you're like, the more I look at that, I just really don't care for that. I don't like it. Just do this and put some over it. Change what it is. So let's see here. That's a pretty flower. That one might work for a front or a top flower. That doesn't have much flower at all, so kind of boring. That one. Nope. 4. Let's see if there's another that we like better. If not, then that one it is. Ooh, maybe that one. No, that one's that one. I don't want the same ones. Okay, maybe I don't want it. Maybe I do want to do another flower. I just don't want it to be the black base, just be the white base. So Okay. So that one or that one.
Why not just put all the flowers on it to begin with?
You could. You absolutely could.
Because it's Marianne.
Well, okay. Okay. Why not put all the flowers? Why not put all the plaid? Why not put all of this or whatever it is? Okay. Why not just take the piece of paper and put the whole piece of paper on it without having to cut it into little squares? You know, that's what you move to. You can cover it with one sheet of paper. You could cover it with two halves with a bunch of strips, a bunch of little squares, a bunch of teeny tiny strips, you know, whatever you want to do. It might look a little different if I was building up tiles like this on just, you know, a piece of paper where there are little tiles, adding the tiles on top of it to add dimension doesn't look out of place. So yeah, you could totally collage all flowers. It would be really pretty with this side of the flowers, I think. And it would be really pretty, I think, with this side of the flowers, either one. And I think it would be really pretty with just this side of that one page. And this marble thing here would be really pretty. Definitely. Any of them, all of them. It's your choice. Totally your choice. You choose any combination of them that you like. Absolutely. So the inspiration from this came from somebody we saw that made a cover with tiles like this, and her inspiration, her inspiration had come from Tim Holtz. A lot of you probably saw his, which, do you remember off the top of your head which one it was?
Holiday Hoopla.
Yeah, the Holiday Hoopla, where he was showing using his tiles, his ideology tiles. And that's the whole thing, is he takes the little tiles, the ideology tiles, and you can make your own. You can take one piece of Tim Holtz paper and turn it into ideology tiles if you want, or, you know, any other craft consortium paper, the patina, the metal textures, the wood textures, they'd all be gorgeous. And so he was showing things that he did with those tiles. And yeah, that's where, you know, and every person takes it and goes, oh, I like that. And what if I did this? You know, and then next time you do it, you'll do something and go, and what if I do this? And that's how, you know, ideas just evolve from one to the other to the other. Every time we make a cover like this, it's going to look a little different because we're going to go, what if I did this to it? Margie
says she would do the whole sheet of paper. She's a lazy crafter, she said. All those other lazy crafters out there.
Yeah, you can just take a whole sheet of paper. You can throw away your scraps and you can take a whole sheet of paper and cover it. And Margie is disciplined enough to throw away her scraps. If you're not, you can't hang on to those scraps forever, and they're just taking up space. So take those scraps and use them and make something cool.
Mary, you know, do just willy-nilly. She had everything match.
That was willy-nilly? No. You mean like all any color out of my scrap bin of anything.
Well, you kind of keep it the same colors, but
these are all coordinating papers. Yes.
Yeah.
She's correct. I will say I can do what would we used to call it? A rag coat, a rag quilt, where you just take all the scraps. Yeah, I can do that. But I know that I wanted to make this specifically, and I wanted not specifically what color it would be, but just that I wanted it to coordinate. So all the papers would be coordinating because I have something that I want to use this for. But yeah, you can coordinate them by color, by style. You can not coordinate them at all. That is totally up to you. They don't have to be coordinated. You can go to your scrap bin, cut them all up into 1-inch pieces of tiles and just grab what comes out next. Use whatever's there.
Dawn says it's so pretty paper quilting. She's had quilts on the brain after going to a quilt show yesterday.
Oh yeah, yep. And that's exactly what this is.
Laughing at you saying she was disciplined.
Well, you are disciplined enough to throw away your scraps. I will give you credit for that. But that's what this is paper quilting. It is one form of paper quilting. There are lots of ways to paper quilt. Some are easier and quicker than others. Some can take as long as doing a fabric quilt itself.
Sylvie says, willy-nilly, scrap, she said. Square scrap, she said. Mine looks like blah, 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 willy-nilly.
Oh, man. And, some of you have seen, Franken paper. That's a whole nother kind of sort of different technique that we'll do one day. I've got some that I've done a long time ago. I'll pull them out and we'll make some more. But and those, they don't have to be the same size. Your pieces don't need to be the same size. But the other thing that I may or may not, but probably will do with this one is take it to the sewing machine and sew around the edge. And I will, if I do that, I will do that before I seal it all in with Mod Podge or whatever I choose to use. I'll put that one on like that. And I just like that because when you look at it from the side, it's like this nice, black tile raised. It's not a bunch of white book edges. It just looks nice and neat. Yeah, there are times I like nice and neat. As much as I like grungy and steampunk and falling apart, there are times I really like nice and neat.
Even your steampunk is nice and neat. It might be a little bit grungy, but it's still fairly neat.
It's nice and grungy neat. It's wow, nice and neat with grunge. Thank you, Candy.
I'm saying there's a grungy like Gwyneth is really grungy.
Yeah.
Yours is just more.
Mine's not zombie grungy.
Well, it's more of it's a clean grunge more than.
That's funny. All right, I need to expand my horizons and do a little more. What do you call it? Dirty grunge?
Saying, like that card you did the other night. It wasn't. It was steampunky, but it wasn't.
Yeah, no, that was steampunk themed.
Yeah,
mini journal page or ATC, but yeah, no, that totally wasn't grungy at all.
Yeah,
it was just steampunk themed.
That's more your style.
I agree. Yeah.
Now you do the other,
I like the other stuff.
Your style where it's more of a
haven't done as much of it that I'm comfortable doing it, but I like it when I see other people.
Oh yeah, me too. I
can't done.
I never go quite that.
Yeah, really cool. I really like that piece there. That might be cool. Of course, there's that one right there. Cool. Nope, that one right there. It looks just like it. Wonder if there's another one that has those two little arrows in it that would look cool. That wouldn't be bad. I'm going to do a third one on the cover. And so looking to see, I like this piece. So I'm looking to see if I have another piece that is very similar to it. If not, then I'll pick another one that I just really like.
She used to be able to spend a lot of time on stuff no more, Margie said. And she says, agrees with me, your projects are always neat. There's a neatness to them. It's not It's never willy-nilly. Her stuff is never willy-nilly.
Oh man.
You deliberate on where to place stuff. I'm more willy-nilly than you.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. All right, I'll give you that.
Very willy-nilly.
Glennis, yeah.
That's why she's so quick.
Yeah, because she can just slap it down. I can't. No, I can't slap. I just can't slap it down. I can't just slap it down.
I'm close.
You're much faster than me. Yes, you are much faster than me. But you still have some organization to your slap.
Yeah.
But I like your style of organization to your slap, so don't try to get rid of that.
No, we all. I mean, I like your style too, but I'm just saying it's you can never call your style willy-nilly.
I didn't call it willy-nilly.
Well, I'm just saying you're a really grungy. No, yeah. Never really that real grunge. It's never.
Yeah. Oh, all right. One of these days, I'm gonna totally blow your mind.
I'm sure you can, but I'm just saying
it's not my go-to.
No, it's not your go-to.
No, you're right.
Well, I think you're gonna be like me, where when you try it, you're not happy with it.
Right.
You like it when you see it.
Yes.
But when I try to do it, I'm not happy with it.
It doesn't come out like the ones I see that I like.
Exactly.
I don't think it does. Anyway, yeah.
We all have different styles, and they're all different, and they're all beautiful. Yes, they are. And I'm just saying, Marianne's is very, very precise. It's precise. It's like it's precise. You're not curling, but you're kind of precise with how you do things.
Precise.
Hey, just look at the cover. Look how long you're taking on this cover. And I'm not ragging on you. I'm not.
No. I get exactly what you're saying. Although I do craft faster when I'm alone, because
you do. I know, and I know that, and we all do.
Hanging out with you guys, killing time, enjoying the conversation, maybe enjoying my friends, but yeah.
Deliberate. Yeah, that's it. Deliberate. You're very deliberate.
I am very deliberate. And here I'm making sure.
You're very deliberate.
You're right. I'm making sure these squares are the same size. So when I go to do them,
I go with it. Like one of these is off a little bit. Oh well.
Yeah, but that's because I just did two of them. When I go to do that acrylic paint over them, it's much easier to do the edge if they are the same and there isn't one sticking up that's. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing that. But yeah, but you're right. I get it. And I'll own it. I will own it. I'm okay with it.
I could be like that. I'm not.
I'm okay with it.
Thank you, Penny. My work is not always fabulous. You only see what's.
I think your work.
We all have our stuff that we're like. Ugh.
Yeah, I think your work is always fabulous. I would always trade mine for yours.
We have to pick on you. It's in the bylaws.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Margie. I agree. And I'm not really picking on her. I'm just she tells us what our styles are, and I'm telling you what her style is. You do.
Well, it's so much easier to see it in somebody else. Yeah. Somebody else's style, you know.
You're very deliberate.
I am.
But it's beautiful. I just wish I could be more like that.
Oh man. All right, let's see here.
Somebody said, yes, no word did deliberate form in my brain when she said squares. All I thought was, how were we going to write on them?
See, Sylvia's all about writing.
Marie says, I see some blindfolded gluing in your future. She would not be comfortable with that.
Oh my gosh.
And she would not like the outcome at all. And I wouldn't either.
I would do it. I'm sure I wouldn't like the outcome, but I would do it.
But I'd have to make sure I had scraps I didn't like.
Yeah, I'll do almost anything. I may not like the outcome, but I'll do it.
Oh, I won't like it.
I'm more willing to try.
Wait, I have to show you. Wait, Charlie made something the other day.
I'm more willing to try things and let them fail than a lot of y'all. But I may not like the outcome.
Yeah, no, I would like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Charlie, I gave him. He was in here with me last time.
Yeah.
You know, we can only be in here for about 5-2 minutes when he's here.
Sure.
He'll work for a little bit, then he wants to do something else. So he wanted to go over and play with the glue. So he saw me gluing something. So he came over and he was grabbing some paper, and I'd stuck some glue on it. And he found this little doily piece.
Aww.
He liked the killer. So then he just started gluing. You know, he'd hand me a piece of paper, I'd glue it, and then he'd slap it on here. And I thought we had stopped at Smile, but he found another piece of paper.
Oh. You're like, this is great, Smile. I might actually use that. Nope, we got to cover up that Smile. That's
Charlie's first cluster.
No, you should put that in a book.
I do. I saved it. I saved it. That's why I saved it.
Charlie's first
I was laughing. He was having a good old time.
Yeah. And then he's like, we're done. And you're like, no, we need one more thing over that plain piece of paper.
I didn't even see him put that on there.
Oh,
and then I come in after he left. I think we did this like Saturday night, Sunday after he left. I come in here and I'm cleaning up, and I'm like,
you're like, what the?
I don't remember him putting that piece of paper on there.
I thought we had a great cluster going. That's funny.
He was having fun. He colored on my desk. He colored. He colored. I had moved him over to the other desk, and he was over because it was lower, and I didn't worry about him falling so much. And he was over there coloring, and it's right next to that this week. You know, thing that the doodle thing, whatever what are they called? Sticker doodle. Yeah, I didn't notice he had colored on it.
Oh, with what marker?
Yeah, was one of his water-based markers. It wiped off.
Okay.
But it's like I was sitting here. I was sitting here the other day, and I was looking at what was on the thing. I was like, I was like, Charlie got it.
Now, while we were talking about my strange styles, I kept stacking stuff on this one, and now this one is twice as tall as those two.
You got flustered, and I'm not being mean. I'm just saying.
No, I know I'm not taking it offensive at all. No, at all. Yeah, but you're right. I am typically more deliberate. Yeah, even if it's grungy, I'm kind of deliberate about it. But these little raised, they're almost like little pedestals, and I might use those. Yeah, I know it's hard to see because.
Okay, I'm gonna put you back on full screen. That is pretty.
Well, because they blend in. They blend in with the rest of. They're just exactly like the other tiles. So, but now you can see that little raised part. Funny. See how this last one's twice the height. But this might be where I'll put some tiny little focal point, even a tiny piece of lace with a little charm dangling from it or something. You know, it could be glued onto there. And that little raised area is a great little focal point. You could do it on the back if you want, but because it's a journal that would likely be set down like that, I'll only do it on the front probably. Leave the back as it is so that will be smooth. I might just have to add a couple more layers onto these now because I like this raised higher. I'm looking at that, and I like that it is raised higher because it's more obvious.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, what I got? If I find another, say here, really like that wrought iron, but I don't know where to put that.
Margie says she doesn't let anybody in her craft room, even keeps the cat out now. She likes to jump on things and make craft lamps. Mine comes in here, and I have little cups that I use to put stuff in.
Yeah.
I had a little plastic cup with lids in it. Remember, she told us to save the
pop caps and your soda or something. The screw on cap.
I have a little cup with
screw on caps.
That cat will come in and get that cup, and carries it into my son's room.
The entire cup. She carries the entire cup
and keeps the lids in it.
Yeah,
the lids stay
does not spill them.
He takes them over to the other room under the bed, and my son has to bring them back to me.
Yeah, under the bed, all in one.
And I've moved that cup several times to try to hide it from him, and he keeps finding it.
I think it's awesome.
I put it in the door the other day. He got it.
Oh, in the drawer?
In the door of my dream box.
Wow.
Yeah, he got up there and got it. He found it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna do
it. It rattles in the cup, I guess. I don't know.
It's a great sound. It is a great rattle sound, and that's probably. But the crack up is that he carries it away and keeps it upright and keeps all those little lids in it
And he comes up here looking for it. He comes up, he gets up on my desk, and he'll be looking for it.
And then he'll turn around and get mad at you. Where's my cup? Where's my cup of lids?
I might have found it.
What did you do with my toy? Oh, that's a good one.
Cuppy chews on paintbrushes.
Oh man.
He doesn't knock too much stuff out. He's good about knocking the inks out, though. He gets them out of the bowl with the ink sometimes.
That's funny.
Penny said you forgot the edges.
No, I'm going to have to do them on here because I didn't want to have to do them one by one. I guess I probably could have. I think I put 3 more on here. I could have put those 3 together and then done the edges and then glued it on. I probably should have done that. But I thought I'll just put them all on and then I'll pick it up because now it's elevated. I don't have to go down to the bottom and see if I can get the edges, except if one, like this top one, I can feel is slightly larger, then it's going to cause me problems trying to get in under it. Unless I can do like that and make it the same size. There you go. There we go. Okay, you know the trimming your beard thing. Now I think this one's one taller than that one, so I need another one on that one. And now that one, you know what I mean? No, these 2 are good. Now I just need some more on that one. And I'm going to use this one on top of it with a cute little light bulb. I like that. This one, I'll try the other way. I'll try gluing.
There she goes. Deliberate willy-nilly.
Deliberate willy-nilly. Oh, you guys are awesome. Oh, little Willy won't go home. That's all I can think of now. Ever since you said willy-nilly, I got little Willy running through my head.
I can see the whole thing in teeny tiny strips from being trimmed and trimmed again.
That's funny. You know, I guess if I wanted them all the same, then I should have made these said I'm going to use X amount of tiles, which I didn't. I just started putting them together. X amount of tiles made out of tiles.
That's about as willy-nilly as you get.
Yeah, had them all sitting out here and then put them on. And now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm making this other one taller, in my mind I'm thinking about it and thinking, oh, it's even better texture if they're not all the same height. You know, some are taller than shorter than the other. I'm like, oh, golly. See, I just don't know. I do not know what my thing is. Because that would be cool if they weren't all the same height. So they have different texture properties. All right. Okay, so let's try this one. Probably be easier this way.
You don't have to color the edges if you don't want to.
I want the edges.
Well, I'm saying Dawn says, don't you? I'm laughing.
Oh. I want the edges colored. I thought it wouldn't be any big deal to put those, couple on top and then color them. So I did. And this one I'm going to color them first and see which one was easier. But next time I'll just decide how many tiles if I want to do it that way and then not keep adding to them. I do like the idea that they're raised enough, though, that you can tell a difference. I know it's going to be hard on camera to tell a difference because dimension doesn't show so well. But in person, you can tell the dimension, and that's cool. Let's see. All right, so that one's taller. So I can go down in between them because the top one is taller.
Dawn says she can be the same way.
Yeah, thank you, Dawn. Me and my deliberate friends. Only in paper crafting, huh? That's funny. So I took this assessment.
We are supposed to be making covers. Done. Tags and cards. Where are the tags and cards? I made a card. I made a get
I made decor instead of a card. I made journal cover decor. elevate your tiles. Okay. So wait a minute. That wasn't supposed to be the top one. Oh, this is supposed to be the top one right here. Oh, good grief. Oh, well. If I keep putting them on, it's going to be an inch tall. That is so funny. Okay. So I was saying that I think I would like them to be different heights, so they have different dimension.
Yeah.
Well, they're different heights. All three of them. All three of them are different heights. So there. I just got to get the glue off, let that dry and get that glue off. That's hilarious, actually. Okay, so you can kind of see them like that. Yeah, there you can see the elevation of the tiles, and you can tell that they're all three different dimensions now. Oh, well. Okay, so if you're going to do tags and journal cards and things, you could do take journal cards and cut them in 3x5 or 4x6 or whatever, however you want to do them, and then cover them in the exact same way that we did.
You don't even have to cover them. I just did an itch.
No, you don't. Exactly. Well, that's what I was going to say. You could cover them, and the other side could be the writing on. Or you could take, like, the guest check or an index card or whatever it is, and you could put one strip of tiles down the side, just the edge. You could put them diagonally like that down the edge, cut them off. Just all you're doing is using the same technique, the tiles, maybe even some of the same colors if you had more of the same paper scraps cut throughout that ties the whole journal together. But yeah, you can do any kind of ephemera like that. Cards, tags, tuck spots. You could take an index card and then cut it diagonally and make it 2 corner tucks on 2 different pages once you've covered it. That would look cool. Anything like that. Let's see. Sylvia. Dawn Marie's been snuggling with chihuahuas and watching the Mayfair witches and a few other things. Nice. That's cute. I have a feeling my comments are like way behind here. Oh, they are. Oh, wow. They are way, way behind. Oh, boy.
Made by Pam's come in.
Hey, Pam. How are you? Haven't seen you in a few weeks. Good to see you. Did you get some snow? We got snow. Boy, I don't know why my comments didn't scroll. Boy, I'm still...
They were in all of what we're doing.
I'm literally scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I am just now to Margie's. We are supposed to be making covers, tags and cards. Scraps said, nowhere dimensionals mentioned. Flat 1.5-inch scraps, no coordinating colors, no edges colored, no dimensionals. Oh, Sylvia, I can't put every single thing in the text to everybody. Just make your squares and come. The rest of it you find out here. I mean, seriously, if I take the time to put everything in there, then there's no need for us to get together and do it because you already know it. You don't need me to show you. Oh, man. Hey, you're lucky you even get a text reminder.
Yeah.
Honestly, you might just have to wait for YouTube to send you a reminder and hope that YouTube does send a reminder.
Oh.
Who else sends you reminders and direct links to the live so that you can come join them? Only for sales usually do people do that. We send it to you for everything because we want you here for all the fun, not just sales. Pam, good. How are you, neighbor? Yes, you have snow. Yesterday you got 4 inches. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We got about 4 inches a couple of days ago. But yeah, yesterday we didn't really have anything. Today we got just a tiny bit, but
it was doing so good too.
What?
I lost my pen.
Oh,
It was doing so good.
Hold that cover up here a little closer. That's pretty. I like it. That's Minte, and I love those colors. Okay, back down a little bit so it can focus. A little bit more down.
It's probably not going to focus. Hold
on. There you go. It's focused now. Very cool. I like that. I love those colors in that Minte one.
Yeah, it's going to be a little fall notebook.
Yeah, that's pretty. See, and you can do it. You could do it on a smaller piece, and you could make it just a folio, and then you could make pockets inside that are done with the same kind of thing. You can decorate it with lace over the top like she's doing. I just did these tiles over the top, and then I'm going to put something on each of these. And I'm not really going to fold it yet until I seal it all in, because, these are all separate pieces of paper, and so it's going to easily bend between the pieces of paper. So I'm going to seal it up, and then I'm going to fold it like that, and it's going to be a journal cover, a single folio, a large single folio, a thick, I should say, single folio, one signature, not single folio, single signature, single folio. It's going to have one piece of paper in it. Yeah, a single signature journal, and I need to let these dry before I start pulling them apart. And what I will do before I fold it in the middle, I will score it. Oh man,
now you're talking about clowns. I missed something.
Clowns. This glue is killing me, Margie. I'm having all the same problems with my glue, my Barely Art and my Art glitter glue. And I used up all my Stamperia glue, so I need to go grab a new one of that, because my Stamperia glue has never ever clogged in any way. It's the only one that has never clogged.
You're jinxing yourself.
Well, I'm gonna go get another one from the shop and try it and see if it ever does. I want to use it in these same cold conditions I'm using these, to give it the same opportunity to clog up, but it never has. And for that reason alone, I'm really liking it. Because, yeah, I'm getting tired of these things clogging up and trying to unclog them.
Yeah, that's something. When I was doing the flowers, they use our glitter glue a lot, because and I didn't have the pin in it. It didn't clog up. Explain that to me.
What?
I was like,
oh man, that is crazy. And the freaking rodeo shows up, or the mariachi band. That's funny. No snow in Phoenix. The mariachi band and the clowns. Yes, that is very beautiful, Candy. It is very beautiful. I like clowns. Lace cannot hide this mess. That's what Sylvia says. Uh-oh, my glue problems immigrated. Yes, they did. They migrated right over here to my desk, having the same problems. I was kind of having them before when you were having them, Margie. They've just gotten way worse. Not sure why. So, pretty soon I'll just be pouring it out of a bear like this, because that's the only way I can get it out. Oh, all right. We are after 8 o'clock. So wow. I know time flies fast. It did fly fast when you're having fun. So try that out. Try it doing them straight. Try it doing them offset. Try it doing them diagonally. Try all the different things. Put some lace on it. Turn it into a journal cover. Put a picture in the group so we can see it. If you did this and you don't like it, Sylvia, it's not something you would use as a journal cover. Cut it up into journal cards or tag bases, okay? Or cut it into small things that would be pockets and tucks in a journal, and you'll have coordinating ephemera all the way through. That makes me feel better about it. Oh, you sent your picture to the reminder group. Oh yeah, don't do that. Some people don't like that. too many dings in their on their thing. There.
Notifications. I don't have mine notifying me.
Yeah. Well then, you would never. you would never.
It just doesn't ding.
Okay. Here it is. Let's see if it'll open. Open. It's trying. Oh, Sylvia, what is wrong with that? That's pretty. I don't see that as totally haphazard. All those colors go together nicely. That's yes. That's a very nice.
I like it.
That's a very nice journal
cover on there. It'd be pretty. It'd be pretty.
That you could decorate and not feel like you're covering up some giant focal point. You can put your focal point on top of it. Absolutely. Sylvia, you did good. Look at that pretty little one right there. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty.
Yeah, I love these colors. I love the green.
Yeah.
On here, it looks like periwinkle and green and kind of a rich purpley cranberry. But I don't know what they are in real life. But those are really
that's
pretty.
the photo I'm sending. Use it as in case of poisoning. You will throw up immediately. No rescue for that. Oh no, that's pretty. I like
it. No, it's very pretty, Sylvia. It absolutely works. Yeah, all you need to do is decorate it, and it's good to go. Oh man! All right, guys, I need to run. I have a Saturday night date waiting for me, and now it's after 8 o'clock, 5 after. So, gotta get going. Thanks for being with us. Do put your pictures in the group. We would love to see them. I will get mine completed. I think I'm going to go ahead and try sealing it with that new Mod Podge paper, which I have never used. So we'll see how that works. Hope it works because I don't want to ruin this because I really do like it. And I'll turn it into a journal. And don't chuck it, Sylvia. Don't chuck it. That makes a great cover. Absolutely. Yes, the thumbs up, please. We do appreciate it. We really, really do. And that helps YouTube to know that you liked the content that was here. And then they are more likely to take this video and put it in other people's feeds as, hey, here's something that you might be interested in. So definitely, please do the thumbs up. We really, really do appreciate that.
We've got a couple of new members that have seen us on YouTube.
Yes, we have about 10 new members in the last 10 days. And as I've been reading their answers to the questions, almost every one of them was from seeing one of our videos on YouTube. So we really do appreciate the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Sylvia, you're way too hard on yourself. It does look great. And comment. Yes. When we are done, you can come back in here and leave a comment. And with your comment, leave hashtag 1000 subs. And as soon as we hit 1000 subs, which is not too far away, then we are going to draw from that hashtag. We're going to give away a box that is full of more than $450 worth of craft supplies. And there is still plenty of time to get into the January prompt challenge. That is in the Facebook group, Happy Paper People. You just need to make anything you want. It can be a tag, a folio, an entire journal, a journaling card, whatever you want. A decoration. Use black, snowman, music page, and a Brad. And bonus for using metallic. And the winner, use the hashtag HPPJAN for January prompts. Make sure you get the hashtag in there. We will poll on January 31st, and we will give away, and only those hashtags get pulled. So if there's only 3 people that put the hashtag in there, that's all that gets in the drawing. So make sure you do this because you have a really good chance of winning $10, which you can use at one of our live sales or on the website, either way. And we'll be planning another live sale soon. And I'm working on getting more images up on the website, so you'll have products to look at there as well. So, and then join us in HPP in Facebook, where it is the year of using scraps and forgotten supplies. Candy wants the box. Thank you really much. We appreciate you being here. Thanks, Candy, for hanging out with me. I always appreciate you being here. Thanks, everybody. We love you so much. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.